Welcome viewers, this week's edition of the Footy Show. We're right back here at Footy Central. I think we're on location last time out, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. It's good to be back in the office and a big weekend of footy.
Yeah, so for those of you who were out there who were worried about us on the side of the highway with the big trucks rocking past and the car rocking and rolling, we're back, we're safe, we're in one piece, and here we are ready for another week of footy, as Paul says.
Although it did take me a couple of extra hours because I had a flat battery when I got back to my car, so that wasn't particularly enjoyable, but yeah, we're back safe and sound.
Yeah, so Krul's another big round of senior footy this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 games at Richardson Park for Sawtell Tormina Saints versus the Port Macquarie Magpies. These guys have obviously met in round 1, I think it was.
Round 1, yes.
And the Saints getting the chocolates in the men's and doing it reasonably comfortably. But the Magpies have had a good win last week over the Breakers at home, and according to Noodle Stanlin Velt, they look pretty sharp. So. Look, if they bring that team up the highway this weekend, it could be game on.
Yeah, probably, or dare I say it, almost game of the season so far.
Yeah, quite possibly.
So, yeah, I mean, as you say, Port had the disappointment round 1. They've bounced back, big win Grafton round 2. Good win last week against Breakers. So I guess this is the real acid test for them in a sense. It's, the trip up the highway.
Jesse Smith, is he in?
In doubt, I believe Jesse. Might be a little bit of an injury cloud over Jay Schmidt.
Okay.
But I did notice the name Riley Irwin circulated on the team sheet last week. So Riley's obviously back up and about in town. Definitely
an injection of pace there.
Oh, and vertical leap.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's good. And the women's game there could be really interesting as well. Obviously, Sawtell of looking like the form team in the competition early days. But I don't believe Cambridge McCormick's played against Sawtell yet for Port Macquarie. So she's definitely coming up the highway to play. And she can play, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, very handy in. She played last week and had a pretty strong influence, her and Anisha Burns, another tall player, so that's obviously something that Sawtell got to look at, how they stop the Port talls. Got a couple of handy talls in their own lineup with Alana Hansen and Beck Minichelli and ladies like that. So, I mean, as you say, the form side, but they're just coming off the bye, so interesting to see how quickly they can get back up and running.
Port hadn't really had a lot of experience leading in the pre-season of the women, where Sawtell probably had the best lead in, I reckon, played up at Lismore in a practice match.
Yes.
And now Port have got a couple of games under their belt. Under their belt. I think they'll be better for the run and should be a closer contest.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we go over to Fitzroy Oval, the old camp, for the Breakers v Grafton Tigers. So Breakers started very strongly with a good win round 1 against the Tigers, and then haven't been in the winner's circle again since. So it's probably not where they expected to be, sitting here at 1 and 2.
No.
So they'll definitely be keen for a win this week. Your Spies have been out. What have you seen around town?
Look, Brett Vella might be back. Not sure. He did a bit of a hammy there against Sawtell a few weeks ago. Luke Simons is in town.
Really?
Yeah, he's got back from Canada. Not 100% sure if he's trained or not yet, but that may not stop him. Premiership player from last year. Young Gibbo, he went down to Sydney to play last week. He's back. So there's a couple of good young ins if they are on the paddock on the weekend.
Yeah, and then the Tigers, obviously, a couple of very tough rounds, very tough games, rounds 1 and 2. And then last week against Sawtell, they really took it to them. And I think they were a couple of goals up at half-time, about 5 points up at three-quarter time. Looked like they might spring the surprise of the year, but just couldn't quite go on in the last quarter. So I guess they really, really need to keep that form rolling. And, even if they don't get the win again this week, they need to basically put it to Breakers and trouble them and prove to themselves that wasn't a fluke. Yeah,
they were missing young Travis Kopp too last week. Raking left foot. He'll be back this week, I believe.
Right, okay. So then, mate, from the seniors over to the juniors, and last year we played the under-11s in 2 conferences, North and South, and then had 3 rounds where they came together in what we called a crossover round. This year we've expanded the format to under-13s, and we've got a crossover-a-thon.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, a bit of travel obviously involved, and with the juniors now expanding down to the Manning Valley at Taree, that travels even further. So the concept of these rounds, viewers, is that if we are making someone travel that big distance, they're at least going for multiple games. So, the one age group at one venue. So this week we've got under-11s all at Nambucca and under-13s all at Bellingen, the new field there at Connell Park. And it'll be really good. So the teams come together, they play multiple games in the day. It's a real carnival atmosphere.
Yeah, it was really great last year. Everybody really loved it. Sort of having 100 players and plus associated parents and whatever else. All in the same place all at the same time. Great opportunity for the host clubs, canteen-wise as well, which is always good. As you say, I mean, it'll be a really interesting day. The teams have been playing their conferences up until now. Southern guys haven't seen Northern haven't seen Southern. You can bet your bottom dollar there'll be folks down there with the fake moustaches and the hat pulled low and the dark sunglasses, all checking out the form of the other team, seeing how they're all rolling. But if you're around the Bellingen or Nambucca Valley areas, get down and have a look because it'll be a great day of footy.
9:30 start through till about 2:30.
2:30, yeah. Yeah, it's a big day, great day.
Good coffee at Bello too. I'm happy that I've been given appointments out there. It'd be nice to have a coffee in between the games. Rep footy, mate, up and about.
Rep footy, yeah, it's that time of year when a young man and young lady's mind all turns to rep footy. So it's happening in both the junior and senior competitions. The call has gone out through the junior comp for the North Coast Force teams, 13s, 15s, 17s youth girls, 14 to 17. So opportunity there for anybody in those age brackets to get involved, put their hand up as a player. We're also looking for coaches, managers, runners, to be associated with each of those teams. So anybody who's got an interest in those sorts of areas, sing out, let us know. We'd love to have you on board. Expanded program this year for the juniors. We've actually got an extra lot of games lined up. So it's not just the Northern Carnival here in the July school holidays. We're also heading out to Tamworth on the 9th of June. We're going to go and play against the Northwest guys. So they're going to have
chilly out there then, mate.
You could well be, yeah. You might have to be elbowing the Penguins out the way. So, that'd be great. Expanded program. Everybody loves to play rep footy, so a few more opportunities there.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. Last year under the new brand of the Force, quality song they've got amongst the Mighty Tigers song. So, great year for that to happen last year, and I think that probably helped the Tigers win the premiership. To be honest,
I think so. They were looking like a rabble until we started singing the song, and then they came good. So,
and seniors as well. We're sort of putting a lot more emphasis and focus on the senior rep team this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we've got a fantastic opportunity this year in that now we've got a women's comp. We're going to have a women's rep team, but also just a really good chance to I guess try and do that properly. And in looking at how we're going to do that, I guess it sort of highlighted some things that we haven't done necessarily as well as we could have done with senior men's rep footy. So we're really trying to take a focus on trying to build the prestige, build the honour, build the reputation of the Force brand. We'll now be up with the seniors as well, and really try and do that so well that everybody wants to be a part of that as well. And of course, we're hosting this year. We're out at the stadium, so great facility, great opportunity, and we've got some really. We've already appointed all our coaching panels for the men's team and the women's team. And we've got some probably the best panels we've had certainly in my time, if not for a long time before that, mate.
Yeah, so it's a pleasure to be involved, really. So,
will you announce that?
Oh, may as well, mate. I'll be the head coach for the women's team, which I'm really looking forward to. We took a rep team of sorts out to Inverell last year as part of the rep carnival on that day.
How'd we go?
We got robbed. Lost by a point.
Jury umpire call.
Yeah, we need to get a bit of Frozen soundtrack happening there to try and move on from that one, let it go. I think we put a really good team together. And we had players playing their first game or second game, sort of thing out there. And this year, when we'll be at home on the fantastic surface of the stadium, we've got some really, really talented ladies playing this year. And if we can get them all on the paddock, and we're certainly doing our best to make that happen, we'll have a very, very good outfit.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly been the thing, hasn't it? Looking at the first 3 rounds of footy, I mean, the talent that's there, how well the ladies are already going about their business in the women's comp has been a standout. So, as I said before, we've got a crack team coaching wise. So Crawl's obviously head coach, or as we like to think of him, Dimmer. And then supported by 3 people playing the role of Justin Lepich, which will be Mel Hunt from Port Macquarie, Mark Tubby Taylor from Sawtell, and of course the captain of the team of the decade, Brad Geary from Breakers.
Yep.
So involvement there from all the clubs, and then similar sort of structure in the men's team. Great to have Marty Garoni, Captain Tiger, back on board again, head coach of the men's program.
It's a real Tigers theme to the rep season, isn't it?
Toot. We're getting on the bandwagon, mate. So Marty heading up again. He's done a great job the last couple of years, and then he's going to be supported by Russell Dawson from Port, Kevy Wilson from Breakers, Brantley from Sawtell, and Chris Buffer-Courtois from the Grafton Tigers. So two groups have already been getting together, getting their thoughts together. Folks, if you're out there watching and you're playing footy and you're playing good footy, expect to be tapped on the shoulder by one of those folks over the coming weeks and sounded out about the rep game on the 23rd of June.
Yeah, and it's great that we've got all the clubs involved there from a coaching perspective, so that it's not necessarily the coach of the Breakers going to a Breakers player to say, oh, you're going really well, we want you to be in the rep team. It's a coach from another club going, geez, you killed us today, you're going really, really well, you're going to be involved with the rep team, so both men and women, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really exciting program to be part of. I'm really looking forward to seeing both teams run out onto the stadium on 23rd of June and see what they can do. So
absolutely. That's probably about all, isn't it, PT?
Well, I think it's one other thing that we need to say. I've forgotten when we were doing our 76 seconds worth of preparation, which is that obviously Sunday, Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
So big shout out to all the mums. What better way to spend it than out at the footy, watching the kids running around, having a great time. To all the mums out there, enjoy your Mother's Day, and look forward to catching up with you next week for another edition of the Footy Show.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. Happy Mother's Day.